Boo, zippity doo dah, zippity day. My oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine coming my way. Zippity doo dah, zippity day. Let's see if we can get over to the other side because I don't have to do any work today. There we go. Chicken and eggs. No work today. Good morning, Shimei. How you doing? Good morning to you. Let's make sure I'm getting out the other side. 5x5 here. And yes, it does appear that I am. Good morning, big dog. How you doing today? And lucky day for me today. My friend, I've been working at his place. Had something else come up today. Bella Rose, how you doing? 1200. All right. What's up, Jay Holly? Smartest kitten in the room there. Kitten cat. Good morning to you. Good morning, Will B. Good morning, Tattoo Crazy. Jay Holly. Nice to see you this morning. I've got some chicken I got to use up today. Hey, Deb, TGIF. Mama Lisa, how you doing? Charla. A kiss for Charla today, huh? Good to see you. We'll let things go a little bit here for a couple minutes, and then I'll commence to, hey farmer, commence to getting breakfast gone today. I cooked up a lot of chicken legs the other day, and I'm going to use them up. I'm going to have a chicken and egg scramble today, or I might have them sunny side up. I don't know. Now Musk is tweeting about Bitcoin. I'll tell you, it's crazy times, and the rest of the market is sagging because smart people are getting the hell out. How you doing, Mr. Z? Good to see you. Mr. Z, 40 stories high on that crane today in that cold day in Las Vegas. Keep building those big buildings there, Mr. Z. Woo! Keep going, brother. Keep going. Number one, thank you to those of you who were on last night's stream. And for those of you who do not know, I am postponing LA. Kev TV had a lot on his table down there, and I want to let him clear the decks a little bit before I go down. Number two, behind this project, I have some other work next week. And then after the Super Bowl, I'm helping the boss put down flooring in his house. So it's going to be a very busy time coming up. Yeah, Mr. Z will be 17 with 3 inches of snow. Oh, you can keep that stuff, right? Keep that snow, man. I don't want that snow near me. Although I might take a little trip here soon as Shorty. I'm not sure yet, so we shall see. So no LA. Okay, that's number one. It's too cold to go to. Otherwise, I would be headed to Vegas right now, but it's too darn cold. And if you're coming in, thumbs up are appreciated, guys. If you would direct your fingers over to the thumbs up button, it would be most appreciated. Yeah, so that's what's coming up in our future here. I'm going to be doing some shop work today. I'm going to try to finish up that quadraphonic unit. I finally have the contact spray to get that cleaned up, and we're going to finish that project up today and put it on the shelf. Good morning, EJ. How you doing? One mama says, love watching you cook. Big storm coming tomorrow in Wisconsin. Really? Does that surprise you? Wade Boeing fan, how you doing, darling? Good to see you this morning. Happy Friday to you. Thank you, guys. Thumbs up are most appreciated. If you're coming in, so I'm really kind of glad to have a day down today. Have off my brace this morning. Good morning, Nikki. How you doing today? Got my brace off today, and yeah, feeling good. Hunkering down for that same storm in Illinois. I've had visions of Hawaii dancing in my head lately, right? I really am motivated. If they raise the travel restrictions so that you can show that you're vaccinated, I'm like gonna be on the way. Always love that name, Jennifer. I think of Jennifer Tilly. I think of Missy Jen out there. Yeah, let's go to Hawaii. You kind of inspired me today, Wade Bowen fan. You teased me with those Hawaii pictures today. Maui's beautiful, but there's so much more to see on Oahu, in my opinion. Now, I've not been to Maui. It has the black sand beach. It's a beautiful place. I think you have Lahaina over there in Maui. When I fish in the morning off of the north shore, the windward side, you can actually see the island of Molokai out there. Are you trying to find an outdoor dining place to eat tonight? Probably not, due to the cold today. And it is really, I mean, I'll show you guys out here. It's really a kind of clammy morning today. Cold. We've had bouts of rain, although I think it's supposed to clear off today. You know, if I'm, well, I would just have to play that by ear. Just have to play that by ear as to whether to go out or not and do that. So I don't know. We shall see. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Let's see. So I'm thinking about that. I mean, it depends on what the weather is tonight. Been the same in London today, very dismal. Well, you know, they had the news today. Johnson and Johnson's vaccine, which they had very high hopes for, is coming in around 64% effective, which to me that's kind of a crapshoot. I mean, that'll be a nice stopgap measure for some people, but compared to the Moderna and the Pfizer, it you know, that's really a coin flip whether you should get that, in my opinion, if that's offered to you. I don't know. I thought that one was supposed to be the highly effective one. So February 22nd, I get my second shot. That's the one that's supposed to have some reaction to it. In the meantime, I know South Carolina, they detected a couple cases of the Africa strain of the COVID variant there. So, I mean, it's a little worrisome. And we'll keep our eye on Wall Street. That'll be the true tell. Because if there's any bad news coming out with about a variant of COVID-19, money moves first. Remember that. Money moves first. And smart money is always at the head of the line, just like they were in February, March of 2020. Okay? And we need to keep an eye on stuff. That'll be our tell. All right, stuff starts hitting the fan and people start hitting the exits. They see a more dire situation for retail, for restaurants and all that. We could be chased, like I said before, we could be chasing our tails for quite a while with this cornholio virus, okay? And that's really the way I feel about it, because variants will emerge. Why? Because you can't get everybody vaccinated at the same time. And unvaccinated people become a potential breeding ground for variations and mutations of that. Good, Wade Bowen. Your dad's 92. Hey, Jackie Blue, good morning to you. Your dad's 92. He's getting his on Thursday. Awesome. That is excellent. That is great news. You know, I wish it had been available earlier. My dad would have got just another 60 days difference in time would have meant the difference between life and death for him. So that was, you know, it is what it is, though. So this virus has become the nightmare. Prayers to those who lost loved ones. Exactly. And we know a few in the community, not just me, that have Good, Beryl. Both me mom and me dad have had the vaccine now, thankfully. Good for you. Awesome. Will be hugs for you too. Very happy about people getting the. As you guys know, I've not made any bones about the fact that I'm a vaxxer to the core, and I do believe that some protection is better than no protection. Okay, plus your built-in ability of your body to fight off viruses, bacteria, and all that. So I'll take that. We got Elmer in here today. Good morning to you, Elmer. But we're keeping an eye out. Okay. We've had this crazy speculative bubble on Wall Street, which is usually characteristic of market tops. And I'm going to stick with my upload of Tuesday. The storm clouds are definitely on the horizon here, and I can see them. And I'm not just talking about out my window. Okay. All right. Not going to talk about arming yourself. I'm not going to talk about a Mad Max world of craziness and chicks strapped to the fronts of desert rat bikes and stuff. I mean, we got to be realistic about things. We have a new administration here, and what's up, Cindy G? Stocks rising. Good morning, Lady Loyalty. Well, just remember, markets don't turn around on a dime. That's the thing that you got. It's like a big ocean liner. It takes time. Heartbeats, vanity. You've got to beat out all the buy the dip people on there. So we shall see in the fullness of time. In the meantime, I think most people are probably pretty well prepped up. But you have to anticipate that we may. Now this is what's jerking people around, and this is what I couldn't understand. And I know I pissed some people off when I talked about LA and I talked about our governor reopening dining. If you want people to stay home, just say stay home. Don't say we're going to close outdoor dining because you want people to stay home. Okay. Because in my mind, thinking about air movement and everything else, there's virtually no risk of contracting cornholio when you're in an outside setting. So I fear that these. I'm out of the market, Cindy. I got nothing now. I got nothing. I fear that we'll go down this path again because it's January, and January, February, March, and April, particularly as we crest up into March, are usually very, very bad months when it comes to influenza and things like that. So we'll see about that. So, and I'm just afraid they may, all these people are gearing up now for outdoor dining. They've picked up food's being ordered in. They're all getting ready to go. They're calling back their staff. And I just would hate to, I don't think they can take another hit of going along and having to close out dining and all that. So I'm not sure. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. Right, you'll know when it's coming when you start to see the cornholio race cases rising again in the country. Yeah, no outdoor dining is devastating, and now I think the worst part of that, tattoo crazy, hey, someone's princess. The worst part of that is we've now opened outdoor dining in the heart of rainy season here, which now you could get more people. Now you could get. Right? Let's think about that. Sitting out in the chill and the wind, and I don't care about propane heaters. Waitresses in and out of the cold to warm and warm to cold and cold to warm. And now we got a more effective breeding ground for transmission of illness. So I worry about that a little bit. Hey, Rochelle, how are you today? We'll see how that plays out, though. But I'll tell you, the worst months traditionally for our February and March tend to be horrendous for influenza and things like that. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'll make a prediction. If they close dining off again, and I hope they don't close outdoor dining, it's going to probably signal the death knell for about 50% of the restaurants in this nation. If they have to close hair salons, it'd probably be the death of 50% of the hair salons that are out there. If they have to close up gyms and things, which I'm not even sure if they're open here yet, then it's going to be bad news. My son just got over quarantine with us and we're fine. Awesome. Glad to hear that. Good morning, John. How you doing today? Good to see you. So we're going to see how things play out coming up. Am I glad that I got my first shot? Oh, yeah, I am. Yeah, a little bit of discomfort is worth it. Am I fully protected against everything? No, but some is better than none, and we all have a natural immunity. How you doing, Rolf? We're not totally unprotected against, people don't discuss something called viral load. You have to be exposed to a certain concentration of cornholio to actually build up enough to trigger an infection, because your body does have natural defenses against that. Thank you. I'm keeping an eye on China and Taiwan. I don't see anything major on that front. Your husband goes 213. Oh, Josh says the sun is shining. Thank you. Someone's princess. Looking good today, Rosie. I'm feeling good today. Feeling chipper. I want to take this opportunity today to get into the shop. I'd like to wrap up and put that quad unit back together, that Marantz quadraphonic quad rail unit in there. But I tell you, it's a time that you want to be cautious. It's a time, I can think of no time more important than to be a prepper. And you should always be a prepper in life, in my opinion. You should always be able to sustain yourself for 3 to 6 months without having to go to a store. Now, I'm not saying that stores aren't going to be stocked, but you never know what's going to happen. And that's why the Mormon philosophy embraces having a year's supply of food on the shelf. I guess that goes back to the days when they landed in Salt Lake City going west and had to fight insects and things to try to get a lot of people almost starved, right? During all that, trying to establish a base there at Salt Lake. And that became one of the tenets of it. So good morning, Simon. Simon, good morning to you. So check with your local health department about getting where you stand in it. I think we've all adopted the tier system now. Tier 1, Tier 1A, Tier 1B, which I was in, and now they're going to go to Tier 2. I think it's over 75 years old on that. So we'll see if you're in that tier. Hey, Kyle, how are you? We garden every summer and I can freeze veggies. That's awesome. Tattoo. That's great. My dad's is Valentine's Day. Great. Had a quad system in the 70s. Never heard better sound. Hi, Cheryl. Hey, Penny Pincher. Well, I do not have anything, should I buy a quad record? I don't know if it's worth it. I might try it once just as an experiment. Put 2 speakers behind me, put 2 speakers in front. I've got the built-in CD4 modulator on the back of this Marantz was top of the line. Okay, it's got everything that you need to just roll. So I don't know. I don't want a record. I might have to, I don't know. I don't know if there's quadraphonic MP3s. Probably not. I don't know. I'm just not so sure about that. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a big cigar video soon. I'm working with Tara, was contacting me today. We're establishing a come-up time for her to come up to the Rancho. And I indicated to her that June is really a great month to, if she comes up early June, I think that would be cool. She's all about the big cigars and all that. Yeah, that cigar video had a lot of people watching. Looking at that video. So I'm happy about that. But you just have to make up your own mind about the shape of what's going on out there in the world. Putin came out yesterday and said it reminded him the era that's setting up as like the 1930s. And I think that there might be something to that. We've had this long era from about, I don't want to say from, at least economically speaking, from 1933, where we crawled 9th July of 32 when the market bottomed and Roosevelt came in. We've had this long climb of prosperity for the better part of 80 years, almost 80 years here. And we've had a lot of stability, notwithstanding World War II and all that. Now, we have trade wars that have broken out. You're going to see more trade barriers. I know Biden came in and said that we need to institute the Buy American First plan. And the same thing happened in the late 20s, early 30s. Countries started erecting trade barriers, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, and it wreaked havoc with global trade because one country would raise tariffs and the other would respond by raising and the other, and it just froze trade in the world, right? How's Bobby and Tara doing? Both doing? They're doing good. Well, they're doing good. So I believe that we are in a period of my work in the title, John, has to do with helping somebody run some new wiring into a old home. So that's what I'm talking. I expected to be there today, but I'm not. So we need to. Hey Mew, how are you? So we need to keep an eye on this stuff. We have a lot of conflict points in the world, and we do live in a nuclear age. And I will tell you, I will point you. Am I a God-fearing person? Yes, I am. Do I believe in God? Yes, I do. Do I believe in Bible-based? For a lot of it, I do. But it's worth remembering that one time that we had the Great Flood, and the second catastrophe has to do with fire, the world being consumed by fire. And we know that when it comes to biblical verse and things, that it's not literal, the translation. So, I don't know. Next time we have an all-out conflict, you know what the consequences of that are going to be. Yeah, Simon is a wonderful person. Hey, how you doing, Emerald Isle, from the great country of Ireland there, babe? How are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while on here. So, there's a couple things that point to that. You can talk about climate change and rising temperatures. We had 81 degrees in January here, and there's all kinds of freaky stuff happening in the world. I mean, I'd hate to have an era where by our own hand we made the world uninhabitable here, right? So that's a scary thought for the future. But, it is what it is, right? So I hope we don't... Oh, I'm so sorry, Emerald. Your mom passed on the 16th. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. My deepest condolences to you. So, everything about the Bible says, well, I'm just going to say, so I'm going to, it's important to square your stuff up, and, the day of accounting. I mean, they always say that, in 100 AD, they thought the world was coming to an end. At 150 AD, 200 AD, 500 AD, 1000 AD, 2000, but the Bible says, Jesus will come like a thief in the night, so you're not going to know the appointed hour. And I take that to be the truth, okay? You just don't know when that judgment day is going to be coming. So, right? Wear your diamond rings. I haven't had a beautiful princess put a ring on it yet, huh? Right? The queen of the Rancho? Right? Oh boy, you need a body shirt every color to make. Oh well, thank you, thank you. I reckon I've lost about 12 pounds so far in almost 3 weeks, so I'm happy. Thank you, Andrew. Good to see you. How you doing today? So, if you think about the setups, and let me get another cup of coffee. Oh, I got my athletic socks on today because I'm going to be out in the shop today. One of the great things about studying history is that you have a good knowledge that we've been here before in time, many times, and we always will be, because human nature never changes, right? Only the circumstances change, right? I'm just micro blasting my coffee a little bit here. Oh, it's too damn cold. Oh. Oh, that's a good cup of coffee. Thank you, Craig. Dunkin' Donuts. How you doing, Andrew? Yeah. Hey, Adrian. I don't know who you're talking about. Hey, what's up, Jordan Blue? How you doing, honey? Good to see you. One of my pals here. OG gal. Good to see you. Off the wrench. I'm doing good today. But let me get to this topic. If you think about ears, especially, and we'll get cooking in a while, I like to kind of theorize a little bit, and I don't think people mind that too much, because even if I'm wrong, it stimulates the thought process, which I think is a great thing. Let me tell you guys, the similarities between the 20s, 1920s, and today are very striking, with one big critical difference. Okay. Number one, even before the market crashed in October, November of 1929, there was already signs of decreasing economic output in the nation. Railroad car loadings, all kinds of figures. Consumers up to their eyeballs in installment debt and all that stuff. Okay. We kind of have a similar situation today, right? We've got a whole class of college graduates that have become indentured servants, right? With $30, $50, $100,000 worth of college debt. How you doing, Cinnamon? Hot. Hi, Mike. Created a whole class of indentured servants that'll be in servitude to loans for a long time. Will Congress decide to pay off student loans? I don't know. Just throw it on the debt pile, right? When you reach a dangerous point where you think it doesn't matter anymore because nothing bad has happened at this point in time. Something to eat. Well, thank you, Off the Wrench. I appreciate that. Okay, number two, the amount of credit card debt, the number of people that have rushed to buy homes because of extremely low mortgage rates and things like that. Okay, so it does not matter what the interest rate is. right? It matters that you have taken on a debt, right? And a big debt and a big obligation, something on the order of 15 to 30 years, okay? That's a big obligation. That's a big nut to me, all right? Now, a lot can happen in those 30 years. Job loss, illness, things like that, okay? It's possibilities. And remember, back to the 20s when you had this craze of installment debt for radios, for refrigerators, for automobiles. Everybody got, hey, Anne-Marie, and if I'm missing you on the side chat, I apologize. I just want to continue with this theme to just draw these parallels as I see them. Flip a coin. Am I right or wrong? Well, I'm just as likely to be wrong as I am right. Okay? But that's number one. The level of debt in this nation, especially the United States of America, is unprecedented. All right, number one. Okay. And we had a high degree of consumer debt, not government debt, in the late 1920s. Why? Because there was no Social Security. There was no SSI, there was no SSD, there were no food stamps, okay? There was no Medicare, there was no Medicaid, there was none of that. Why? Because the government believed at that time, through hundreds of years, thousands of years of governmental history, that it's not the responsibility of government for what happens on an individual or community basis. That's exactly, hey Jen, that's exactly what bedeviled Herbert Hoover in the early days of the Depression. Okay? Because people said, well, Herbert Hoover gave money to feed animals. Herbert Hoover ordered the destruction of the bonus march on Washington in the hot summer of 1932. But there was no inclination early on for the government to get involved in solving the economic problem. I mean, Hoover said, hey, it's up to the individual Red Cross, churches, local community organizations to take care of that stuff. The federal government doesn't get involved in that type of affair. Well, think of where we are today, where, you know, we've built up this system that's probably so friggin' fragile right now, with so many people depending on government. It's a scary thought. It's a scary thought. It really is. And at what point does the ability to borrow, and God help us if interest rates soar, at what point does it reach a point where the ability to borrow just becomes laughable, right? And you get into these print money exercises, and before you know it, you become third world. All right, a banana republic, a republic that can't responsibly manage its finances. Are we at that point now? You tell me. Stimulus upon stimulus upon stimulus. Let me put it this way. If government policy and stimulus and all that stuff were the key to wealth, every nation in the world would be stimulating its economy continuously. Okay? All right. But the proof is, look at Japan. Okay? Japan topped out in 1989. It's something like 40,000 on the Nikkei Dow Jones Index. It has now been almost 41 years later, and Japan has still not come close to exceeding that peak, despite the fact that the Japanese government has thrown everything but the kitchen sink into that economy. Okay? And because interest rates are low, yeah, they're having a marginal kind of boom. and all that. Okay, Japan is proof positive that just spending money doesn't make a great economy. Okay. All right, the next point is, okay, so we've covered off debt, we've covered off government intervention, which is a total 180-degree turn from 1920s thought, Calvin Coolidge, Warren G. Harding, all the way through Herbert Hoover. Okay? The other thing we have that's been very disturbing to me lately is this whole friggin' speculative mania that suddenly broke out on the message boards and things like that. Plus the fact that 10% of the people control 90% of the wealth of this nation now. When's the last time that occurred? Well, you can look back to late 1920s for the same thing. Unequal distribution of wealth, not because of design, but because of speculative fever and everything else. Okay? Now, you put that all together today, and you have a house built of matchsticks with the sulfur still on the head of them, and you take one little spark and ignite that house of matches, and before you know it, okay, what could that spark be? Could be rising interest rates, which has always been something, or it could be something as simple as the second strain of Cornholio, the son of Cornholio, or the granddaughter of Cornholio comes along, and we're back into a shutdown again, and it's just crazy land. The problem is prices are so high on stocks because there's no money in savings. Who puts money in savings accounts anymore, right? There's here's your bonus, a 1/4% interest per year, plus a toaster. Plus a toaster that we nice toaster, cheap Taiwanese or Chinese made toaster for you. So everybody was pushed into stocks. Okay. So you have the most people involved at the very worst period of time, right? Right? Nobody cares about the market when it's flat on its back, but boy, when it's jumping and making front page news and stuff, everybody and his mother jumps in there, and that becomes the trap. Boom, right? And that trap closes, and that just destroys. It's such a great destructor of wealth. It's positively amazing, you know, how money purchasing power can just evaporate into thin air. Trillions and trillions of dollars in days can be gone, thereby immediately affecting the purchasing power of people. People slam their pocketbooks closed like, ooh, you know. Hey, Homer, we took a little hit in the market today. We ain't gone to Hawaii, and you best get down to the Ford dealer and cancel that F-350 Turbo Max, baby, like yesterday. All right. Oh, man. Yeah, took your investments away from Robin. Now, am I right? Time will tell. Am I wrong? Probably. But I'm telling you, the forces that are in motion are forces that don't have a good end to them. Okay, they do not have a good end. We're in a global economy. Okay, and whether you like it or not, you have people in China with tremendous purchasing power because credit cards are scarce, man. Credit's almost impossible. They haven't even leveraged their economy up with borrowing and credit and all that kind of crap. Okay. And while all these struggles are going on here, they're just sailing through over there. Okay, why? Because they have a big enough base of people, 1.2 billion people, that, let's face it, they don't need any outside markets to, they don't have to worry. Just like the U.S., we could grow internally and develop our wealth internally. Well, they're the same situation where we were. Now, somebody, K. Briggs, said we need universal basic income. What you're saying, K. Briggs, is socialism will be our savior. But the problem with socialism, in my opinion, the problem with that is if you provide everybody with a universal basic income, then you lose, a lot of people lose the incentive to be more productive. Okay? You lose a whole class of creators, entrepreneurs, who, because of a little sustenance and a little basic instinct, a little basic income, no longer feel the drive to go out there, create, be entrepreneurs, solve problems, because their basic food, shelter, and clothing are met. And I tell you, in the seeds of that universal basic income are the seeds of absolute destruction for the future. We can look at the microcosm of places like the Boyd and places like that. Okay? And we can imagine in a world where you have a universal basic income, whether you lift a finger or not, you're getting the same income. Okay? And what would be your incentive? In fact, there'd be an incentive for people to get on and chase that universal basic income, because I'm eating, I got a roof over my head, I got clothes, and guess what? I got YouTube, right? I can hang out and fritter my days away and not be productive. Therein lies the problem with a universal basic income, is somebody has to pay the toll. Right? Somebody has to pay the freight on that. All right? There's only so many people that can be employed by Amazon. There's only so many people that can be employed by Googles or Apples, the huge mega companies, the Facebooks and things like that. And when you get through that top layer of about 10 corporations that account for, 75% of the value of the stock market, right? Think about that. They're not great sources for employment for the future, right? It's all the mom and pops down there. Well, Homer, we got this universal basic income, right? We were going to start the store, but what's the point now? We're going to get $2,000 a month each to just sit on our hiney and, let somebody else carry the freight. You understand what I'm saying here? You understand? End up with a nation of dull dunces, exactly. Socialism blunts the point of creativity, just like communism does. Right? What's the point of being, what's the point, like in China, of one person shovels more dirt next to the other person when they're getting the same pay? Well, they both shovel real well when there's a rifle pointed at them, but that doesn't happen these days, right? And, we have this idea of something for nothing is always appealing to everybody. And I get that, right? Hey, monkey boy, how you doing today? How you doing? So we'll see how things play out coming up. Am I wrong? Could very well be. Okay, but I see so many parallels in 1930s, political instability, right? Economic, trade wars, right? Super concentration of wealth, stock markets that are priced for absolute perfection in the future. What could go wrong, right? What could go wrong? But that's what I'm saying. It would quit there and follow an entrepreneurial. Don't you think there may be a possibility as well? I don't know. There'll always be some outliers, Wade Bowen. But the thing you have to remember about macroeconomics, or economics on the whole, which I always loved compared to microeconomics or economics of the person or the company, was that when you have a universal basic income, if you don't have it now, we can argue that many more people would be entrepreneurial and want to go out and be creative and solve problems. If we have a universal basic income, you cannot argue that that creativity, that creative force, that entrepreneurial creativity that drives economics would be diminished. To what extent? Probably to a great extent. Okay. And therein lies the problem. It's not the individual person, but what we do as a whole affects the big numbers. So you take 2 million entrepreneurs out of the equation. Well, you don't know who you took out. You don't know the guy that did the next big thing in the world, like the internet, or you don't know who you're taking out. Here's a brilliant software engineer or whatever, and his girlfriend's like, hey, man, we got universal basic income. Why are you slaving away on that bullshit? Let's go to Hawaii, right? You've lost that person over there. So that's my little talk today. So just be aware. I am, I do worry a lot for the future because the biggest risk is so many people are dependent on government checks now. And that's really scary. That concerns me a lot. Right? There's a lot riding on the back of the federal government. It's all being pushed off from the states to the federal government. Yeah. But any basic, hey NorCal, but any basic income. Hey Lettuce, how you doing? Yeah, there's a cause and effect for decision, and socialism and communism is the worst of all, because no matter how smart you are, or how entrepreneurial you are, or how great an idea you have to be more productive, it doesn't make any difference in your mind. Why? Because you're going to be paid the same menial wage as the person next to you that's a dimwit, okay, with the shovel. That's why they say communism is equal misery for all, and it's very true, unless you're in the elites, with your dockas on the Black Sea and all that, and like in Russia, you're screwed, man. You're absolutely screwed. I don't agree, Endora, maybe in an individual case, but on the whole, you're going to blunt creativity tremendously, and you're going to blunt the entrepreneurial drive. You'll raise generations that have no interest in moving behind. And of course, the whole system will just collapse upon itself like it is now. Less and less people working now and supporting a greater and greater need is a recipe for disaster, right? How you doing, Daddy? What's going on? What's going on? So there's the basic flaw of communism, is there's no reward for productivity, so things just collapse. Okay? Russia's a perfect case in point. It could go along so long and boom. China was smart. They saw the light in late 89, 90 and opened the doors to Wild West capitalism and took communism and pushed it aside. Okay, and we see the results. The free market works. All right, and socialist countries just eat themselves alive trying to keep people happy because of politics. I don't think I could survive on disability. Yeah, that's a good thing, Teresa, to have the 401k match and all that. That's a wonderful thing. That's a great thing. So it's going to be interesting. The old Chinese curse, may you live in interesting times. Mighty interesting, right? Mighty interesting right now. But we shall see. So that's my thought on that. Just think about where we are in the markets today, stock markets and things, and what they expect for the future versus what could be coming. That's the big difference. When expectations are here and you expect reality to go like that, and reality stays here or goes down, you're screwed. All right? You're screwed. And there's no more, I'll leave it on this note before I start my breakfast. There's no more efficient destructor of wealth in a very short period of time, short of war, than when markets collapse on people. okay? Because everybody knows what the story is, and everybody wants to hit the exit door at the same time. And the problem is, when the people are coming into the market, the door's wide open like Costco. Oh, come on in, show your card. When it's time to leave, the door gets that narrow. And like nightclub tragedies with fire, people get trapped and they get incinerated in those situations. And I can think of nothing else where you have the opportunity to lose trillions of dollars in a matter of hours and days, okay? And mega events like that really, really cause people to radically change their ideas about spending money, jobs, and all that kind of stuff, okay? That's what I want to leave you with. I will also just relay again the story of Joseph P. Kennedy, John F. Kennedy's father. His hope was his son Joseph P. Kennedy Jr. would become president. Unfortunately, he died in World War II in a plane crash, and he vested his interest in John F. Kennedy and did his thing. The guy was a wolf, no doubt. He was all up in Gloria Swanson's drawers in the 1920s, all in there with RKO Studios, and probably banging everything he could get his mitts on around there. But the one smart thing he did, he was an observer of psychology, right? And he knew the trees don't grow to the sky. He knew that this BS of the late 20s, of the speculative fever and cocktail party with people with ticker tape all day, even putting brokerages on cruise ships. Yes, RCA, right? Helped develop little brokerages, offices on cruise ships, right? So people could play the market. He looked at that and whoo, his hair started standing on end. And the old saying goes, when everybody thinks alike, nobody thinks very much, okay? And one day he came to work in late September, early September of 1929. And the guy he usually got his shoe shines from looks up to him and tells him, Mr. Kennedy, I picked up a great tip today on a stock. And he decided at that point, if the friggin' shoe shine boys and the elevator operators were giving out tips to people, he knew the end was near. And he was one of the few people that escaped all the horrors financially of that collapse. I mean, you had people, Jesse Livermore, the greatest speculator of all time, ended up blowing his brains out in 1940 in the Sherry Netherland Hotel in New York. Samuel, Insull, and all these mega hitters, a lot of them ended up committing suicide and stuff. Why? Because they got caught up in all of the bullshit. All right, by design, there are not many people like Joseph P. Kennedy that have the foresight and the ability to act upon what he sees and to say this is just sheer lunacy now. It's lost any pegging to value. Good afternoon, Tina. Robert Mack, how you doing today? How you doing? And there's Bub D. Good to see you. So a little bit of a different angle on things today. And I do enjoy talking on the news, and I do enjoy particularly where economics comes together. Now, the really scary thing, guys, and this is what I don't like to contemplate, is we all know we've been on a downward path of prosperity here probably since 1966, 1970, okay? We used to have the one earner family. Hubby would go off, wife would keep the house. Then in the 70s to the 80s, we transitioned to sustain our standard of living. We need to start putting women in the workforce, which they came in large numbers, and it coincided with the women's movement Strange, isn't that right? If we had that whole thing. Now, for the average American family, it takes two people to sustain the American dream. And even that's starting to get frayed at the edges. Okay? Because we know one job gets curtailed, one job gets cut. And the next thing you know, you're not in the middle class anymore. You're struggling to get by. Hey, Patty, how you doing? Now, when, not if, when this stuff hits the fan in this country, where are people going to turn? Where are people going to be turned? They're going to turn to where they've been trained to turn for the last 90 or so years. They're going to turn to the government to bail them out. Okay? And you don't think the rest of the world is going to see that and say, my God, here we go. They're going to be pouring the money off the printing presses and all that. We don't want any part of buying that debt anymore. And you can see it. You can make a case for that. Where we finally reached the point where government intervention is no longer big enough or practical enough to turn this baby around. Then you get to the Mad Max world, okay? Laying off police and fire department, and the crooks get the idea of, ooh, happy days are here again. Let's go create some mayhem around here again, right? You got these opportunists that will trigger Occupy Wall Street and all these people. That's a tough situation. You know, can anyone on this one, this lady? You can go back and check it, SF. I was around doing live stream before IP was even thought of. Okay, that's the bottom line. So there it is. You know, the thought on that. So let's take a break. Going to use the bathroom step out for a minute. I need to see if I have some. Hang loose for a couple minutes. We're going to get this chicken. We're going to get this chicken cut off the bone, and we're going to cook that up with the eggs. Straight up now, tell me, do you do boo boo? Do you love me? Oh, ba ba da ba da ba ba boo. Straight up, do 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 do. Ba ba do boo ah, boo ba do ba do boo boo boo. All right, let's cut some of this. Let's cut some of this chicken off the bone here. Let me see what's going on. All right. Hello, Marie. Did you have the chicken before the egg? It's a good question, isn't it? What a great question. Spread the blanket on the ground. I took the blanket from the bedroom. Loo doo 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 doo. Boo boo ba 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 da boo 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 boo. And the blanket on the ground. Let me get the side chat up over here. Do 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 do. All right, here we go. All right. Let's see if we get the live chat. Maybe we'll through the channels or dropping my side down. Well, oh well, thank you, Dirty. I appreciate that. Rosie ain't nobody in the world. I'm just giving some of my thoughts on the mania that's broken out here. I mean, when you see people that have no experience in trading, getting in there, opening up accounts and stuff, you got the equivalent of the shoe shine boy syndrome, right? That's what you got. Well, thank you, Jen. You're sweet. I'm cutting up my chicken back Jamaican stuff. I'd like to have some jerk chicken. That would be good. Jamaican style jerk chicken. That would be awesome. Let's get the cutting board out here. Oh, I'm kind of chilly. I'm going to put the heat up a bit. And the blanket on the ground. I took the blanket from the bedroom. Boo, 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 boo. Let's get this out of your way. Clear view here. Yeah. Donnie, what's up, Donnie? How did you do with the mermaid last night? Ba-ba-boo. Hi, Mouse Toes. How you doing? Let's go ahead and get the chicken down here. Oh boy. Let's get a few of these legs out. Let me wash my hands. And the blanket on the ground. I'll have to make a video. Oh, they sang. All right. That's good. Can't wait to get down to the mermaid. All right, I think we'll have 3 of these babies. It's going to be a cold day in the shop today. We got 3 left for the next time, plus the cacciatore we got left. There. Good keto breakfast today. Let's go ahead. Hey, Charlie Brown, how you doing? Let's see, where's my knife? I gotta put some of this crap away. Where's my really good knife? Too many knives, right? What happened to my good knife? I gotta put this crap away. Let's see anything. Thank you, moderators, for these wonderful utensils here. And the blanket on the ground. All right, we put enough away. We found it here. So let's go ahead and cut this. Rosie's a jerk. That's me. Jerk that chicken. Let's go ahead and cut this off the bone here. That's enough. You can't even gnaw it off the bone right there. Right? Get all that good chicken off of there. Waste not, want not. Had to get up early this morning and take some people to the golf course. All right. It's nice you're in a place that's in full swing down there. I'll tell you, because we ain't here. All right, so we got the chicken that we need. There. Let's go ahead and chop this up a little bit. This was pre-cooked the other night, by the way. Let's get a little brown on this. I can't imagine terror ever being mad at anybody, Anton. Oh. Let's see, we'll get the salt, the pepper, and we'll drop a little bit of EV. Oh, in there. A little shake of that. All right, let's put some fire in the hole here. No. Grooving. Yeah, I got to use up some of this chicken. Moderators gave me this beautiful set of hardwood utensils, cooking utensils here. What we're trying to do is get a little bit of heat to this. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. Get that nice and warmed up and turn that heat down. Let that go good. I'll get my cup of coffee here. Oh, brother. Hope everybody's having a good day. Yeah, get a little bit of a caramelization, a little bit of char on that. That's a beautiful thing. Color equals flavor. That's already looking real good sitting in there. Hey, what's up, Cooking Green? How you doing? Honored to see you today. Good way to use up some chicken here. Oh, that's some good coffee, that Dunkin'. I think we got enough color on that. Let's go ahead and drop the eggs here. Procrastinating, need to do some outside work. Hello, Dalai Lama's tea. Safe food handling, right? Shake of salt on the eggs. Nice dose of pepper. Let them cook good. All right. Let them working good. Oh, yeah. Good deal. Let me turn this down. Off notifications. There we are. All right, let me grab my plate here. I see good eating on the horizon here. Woo! Good eating. Good eating. My notifications go up all day long. Rosie, did you see this? Rosie, did you see that? I try not to. All right, let's get a little bit of orange juice here. I try not to. Good hearty breakfast. I'm cooking and you're doing dishes. Oh, Rosie, did you hear this? Did you see that? Rosie, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? I like my eggs pretty much cooked through. So we'll turn off the heat and let them finish through a bit. Oh boy. Wow, minus 22 degrees. Wow, yeah, thumbs up are appreciated, guys. Minus 22. The coldest I've ever been in is 15 below zero. 64 below wind chill in Everett, Pennsylvania. That was a day to remember. Went skiing, and the wind was blowing so hard it blew you back up the mountain. Can you imagine 64 below zero wind chill? Let me tell you, ain't fit for man or beast out there. Oh boy. Yeah, food looks pretty good. I don't like to waste meat. All right. All right, let's commence to eat and see if we can get a purchase on these this stuff. I didn't feel like baking today. Feel like that. I lived in the Arctic for many years. Yeah, I couldn't take that. Yeah, it was uphill. The wind was so strong. That's rocking. Get your triglycerides. Well, thank you, Linda. Very sweet of you. Have a little bit of our egg here. A little bit of a morning mukbang. Morning, Ronnie. How you doing today? How you doing? Delicious. Remember, Andy Griffith did the Ritz crackers. Good cracker. Ronnie's gonna have some eggs. Coffee and cornbread. Yeah, I got nipples. Nice nipples. Nice nipples. Thank you. You ought to catch my Dorito bikini. Good morning, Lisa. Good eating today. Every day don't get. Well, I don't really do it. If you saw my video the other day, I just pop eyeliner on. This morning I didn't put that Neutrogena on and just use the eyeliner and a little bit of 911D Wet and Wild Stoplight Red. Well, I'll refer back to my Tuesday morning, Anton. I believe it was called The Bell is Ringing. The bells are ringing. Well, thank you, Teresa. Filet mignon, fried macaroni and eggs. I use leftovers. That sounds good. Lunchtime, dining with Rosie. All right. More interest in knowledge than nipples, yeah. Uh, 3 weeks on keto has been good. Oh, well, thank you, Wade Bowen. Hey, Toodles, how you doing? Toodles in the chat. Getting on about 11. Delicious. Oh, you're making bacon wrapped asparagus with cream cheese. Oh, that sounds pretty good. You seem fat to people because of your roles. I found that if you seem fat, just slap a nipple on those balls and your stock goes up. Yeah, Savage, she wanted to have me on her show. If I can not do, yeah, you'd be surprised, Patty. Like I do, if I have the need or the urge for bread, I have Ezekiel bread, which is made from sprouted grains, and it's no gluten, and it has millet in it and other things. And I'll have 2 pieces of that with some peanut butter in the morning if I'm in a hurry. So, all right, if you take magnesium, you'll say goodbye to leg cramps, which is nice. Anton Smith says Dow dropped 600, briefly falling below 30,000 amid concern about GameStop. I would say the concerns are deeper than GameStop. That'd make a nice cover story. I would say the concerns are far deeper than that amongst the smart people. I would say that just makes a nice cover story. Yeah, Ezekiel bread. All these has a keto bread, yeah. I'm not sure, Ronnie. I'm tempted to try to make that. I think that might make a cool video to do that. Well, you got Dodgy, DOGE, which is just a spoof company that people are driving up. Instead of Bitcoin, it's called Dogcoin. Delicious. Yeah, I don't have a bread machine. I like to use my KitchenAid. Have a great day. Yeah, you too, Cooking Green. Take care. Friday night, I might be drinking some beer myself. Not sure. I don't really eat snacks. If I want to have something to eat, Patty, I do a yogurt, like a Yoplait yogurt. I'll have an apple, or I'll have a Cliff Bar. Not necessarily keto, but protein packed. Yeah, I have a big vegetable garden thanks to Cinnamon Hot last year. My subscribers are so wonderful. Four men get mouth ulcers after eating 30 kilograms to avoid paying extra baggage fee. That was a good garden. There's Fatima testing to see if Fatima's been blocked in here before. So. What a breakfast. What a breakfast. Lori, thank you. Hey, if you haven't hit the thumbs up are appreciated. Just take a second to hit the thumbs up button. Thank you. Yeah, the weight doesn't come off as fast. That's why I like to stay very, 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 very active. I have the Ezekiel raisin cinnamon bread here, which I like very much. Tara recommended Ezekiel bread to me. It's not cheap. Oh, I bet they do. I didn't see that, Charlotte. I keep it in the freezer all the time. Yeah, $7 a loaf. Hey, Madowix. I'm not sure if notifications went out. I mean, YouTube, it should be the simplest thing to do is give notifications, and they can't seem to do that. Thank you, Simon. Okay, take care, Ricardo. Have a good one. Sorry I missed you earlier. There's something very basic about making bread that puts you in touch with comfort. Well, that's the beauty of the high-tech world today, right? You can work from home. Love the smell. I'm almost sad to see this go this morning. This was such a treat. Cinnamon coffee cake. That's good. I always enjoy cinnamon coffee cake. And the blanket on the ground. I took the blanket from the bedroom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's coming up to about an hour and a half. I want to get on to my day. It's about 11:05 a.m. local Pacific Standard Time here. I want to wish all of you a wonderful day. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be doing tonight, but we shall see, huh? Shemaine, thank you. Everybody else, Prince Noob, Wade Bowen, Maria, Robert Mack. Yeah, I think it was a great live stream. If you enjoyed it, share it out to some of your friends. If you think that they could benefit from some of my opinions, go ahead and share it out to other people. In the meantime, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do so. And have a magnificent day. You too, Patty. You take care. And everybody else, Sharon, Charla, Somi, likes cake, and Teresa, Toodles, Jen, Off the Ranch, Tattoo, everybody else up. I missed you. Simon, you have a wonderful day, my friend. Say hi to your beautiful wife. And have a great one, everybody.